This is a great night. This is one of my fun nights of the year. It's fun for all of us. For the inductees, it's fun for them to relive the past through the sort of Bruce Springsteen thing. We start living those glory days and we hear the stories. Things have gotten a little more embellished over time perhaps, but they're great stories nonetheless. It's good for our boys to be here. I really like the fact we have our Dons here too, because they get to look beyond their 4 years at Notre Dame and see what life can be like once they leave here. And they hear that from our inductees as well. It's also good for our faculty and staff to be here, frankly, because all we have to do is look at you guys and know that we are making a difference in young men's lives. You do that for us and it re-energizes all of us, so it's wonderful. I can't wait to hear what Tommy and Bo have to say and to hear more about Brian and to hear all of your stories. So I'm going to sit down and listen to what's going to happen next and watch along with you guys. We're going to have some laughs, we're going to have some cheers tonight probably. But then let's go down the hallway, put those plaques on the wall, and let's see if we can win the basketball game tonight too. So thank you, Jim.
Very fortunate to have one of our alums who now is our principal, Mr. Dan Tully, and he's going to say a few welcoming words. Dan.
Before we get to all the good stories from all of you, just a warm welcome back to Notre Dame. It's good to see some familiar faces that I've known as a teacher and a coach and principal here, and a few that I haven't met yet. I was lucky enough to graduate in '94 here, so I was able to kind of cut across some of the generations of people here at Notre Dame. Some of you guys who remember some of the great legends of Notre Dame, the Coach Willits, Coach Cole, Coach Kazol, who's here tonight, all the great men, the priests who led this school, Father Stroop, Father Cork, Father Brinker, Father Molinaro. But I'm also privileged to know the great men and women who coach here today. And I want you to know, those of you who haven't been around for a few years or maybe haven't paid attention too closely, that for every Coach Kazol, for every Coach Willett, for every Coach Cole, for every Father Corcoran, there's Kevin Clancy, who's probably back here, but I think just took off to get ready for his game tonight. And Coach Rosengrant, of course, Coach Geneviese's in the room here, right? I saw you early. There he is. He's still here. Coach Beckman. I'm leaving out some names, but the point is that the great people who left a mark on you and helped shape the people that you are still here in their own way. And of course, there's the everlasting Coach Hennessy, who's will outlast all of us. I'm so glad that you're going to be honored here tonight. My 1 year as a senior member of the tennis team does not give me any reason to be here as part of a sports wall of fame. But I am truly privileged to see you guys and have your names etched here forever and part of the Notre Dame lore. So congratulations for all your accomplishments. Welcome back. Go Dons.
There's always a quick list of thank yous, so I'd like to go over that first and then go through some other things. I'd like to thank Ralph and Dan for being here and being part of our program. Bob Beckman, who's in charge of our facilities, also our golf course. A golf coach, he had a little eye surgery, so he's not here, but he kind of helps us set all this stuff up. Nancy Jones from our print shop, who did the book there. Judy Byrne, who is my boss and gets everything taken care of, in and out of everything that goes on in the athletic department. We'd like to thank Mr. Beaver for over on Elmhurst Road and for bringing our dinner in. Also, a shout out to my guys in the back here, our ND Letterman, our next year's senior football players. Kind of a great sign that the tradition here is going to continue, and we'd like them to be here, as Mr. Elwood said, kind of hear what where things should go from here. Our Wall of Fame committee, which is I don't know if Mr. Allegretti's here or not. Dick, if you please stand, Mr. Dick Allegretti, Audie Genovese, Dan DeFranza, and Tony Kazol. We still have some we got to bring back for next year, and we're very pleased that that process has been going on, and we feel that we've gotten some great guys here and a great team to be honored. very, very pleased with what we've done. What I would like to do before we get into the individuals, I would like our gentlemen who are already on the Wall of Fame, if you would please come up in here, because I'm not sure who's all here, but the gentlemen who are on our Wall of Fame who've been inducted before, if you want to come up in front here and introduce yourself. Come on up. You didn't keep a list. You guys want to come up? These are gentlemen who are down the hallway. Our guys know what we have every day. So if you want to come up here and go particular order and introduce yourself.
Dean Cadavatore, class of 04.
John Lanyard, class of 79.
Phil Stanton, class of 98.
Dick Allegretti, class of 73.
Hi, everybody. Dan Fitzpatrick, class of 81.
Tom Nicholas, class of 1981.
Dan DeFranza, class of 1990.
Pat McCaskey, I graduated from this school on Friday, June 2nd, 1967 at 8 p.m.
Dave Dietzig, class of 89.
Stan Valley, class of 89.
Mike Dappa, class of 1990. Matt Gallagher, class of 1992.
Jim Rulli, class of 1990.
Mark Yano, class of 1990.
We'll get one more picture when we get to the gym. We have another hand for you guys. Depending upon the tempo of the game, things downstairs, and maybe we'll probably introduce them to the group. But we're very, very pleased that we can get you guys to come back anytime we can get along with the people to come back. It's great, and an event like this makes them very proud to be able to be here in Notre Dame. I'd like to move into and talk a little bit about our first honoree, which is Brian Hill from the class of 1985. He will be represented by his teammates here, and I believe by Perry Shields, who's going to come up and talk through this. I think I got your name right. Brian was nominated by his classmates, and we're very, very pleased that we're able to have this honor for him. He's a two-year football starting fullback and linebacker here at Notre Dame. The two-time ESCC All-Conference Honors. Four-year member of the Michigan State University football team. Played for Michigan State 1988 Gator Bowl and the 1989 Aloha Bowl. And he was recognized as a team leader here and a very inspirational leader with his friends and his teammates. And we're very, very fortunate to be able to do this. Brian passed away on January 1st of this past year, and we were hoping that we were going to be able to make it here with Brian, but we know Brian is here, and that's a good thing. So I'd like to ask Perry if you want to come up and say a few words. So thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Again, my name is Perry Gentile, class of 1985. I was fortunate enough to be one of Brian's very close friends. He won't be joining us. It hurts. It it'll probably hurt for a long while. But it's not a time to mourn Brian. Tonight's a night for celebration. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about him. For those of you who didn't know Brian, he was a quiet guy. If you were lucky enough to break down some of his walls and be invited into his circle of trust, you were exposed to another side of Brian. He was a caring and loyal friend. He could not say no. He was always there to help a friend and even a stranger at times. Brian never wanted any credit. This is probably why it took us 30 years to nominate him to the Wall of Fame. In fact, during our playing days at Notre Dame, Brian quietly led our defense in tackles and sacks for at least 3 of the years. He was nominated to all conference teams twice. You wouldn't really know these stats though unless you actually play with Brian. Unlike so many players these days who jump up, point, gesture, Brian would make the tackle, stand up, return to the huddle, just as if nothing had happened. I received a very thoughtful text from a teammate of ours, Bob Zima, when he heard of Brian's illness. Bob said, Brian played fullback and linebacker. He was one of the kids who really took to the weight room, which at the time, off-season training and weight training was just evolving into what it is today. This training made him the strongest player on our team. Brian was a player that no one really wanted to tackle or block in practice. He blitzed and ran with a determination that was endless. Brian was a leader on our team. Everyone looked at him when things got tough. How he responded determined how everyone else was going to handle the situation. He was a fun character in the locker room and always up for a celebration after a big win. Bob said it very well. Brian was our leader on the field. Brian loved football. He would tolerate some of the major other sports, but only because of my love for the Cubs and the fact that I would make him watch all the games with me. But Brian's true passion was football. After high school, Brian played a year at St. Joseph College, but he had greater desires. He realized his dream a year later when he was given a tryout and made the team at Michigan State University. Brian played at MSU for 3 seasons. He played in the 1988 Gator Bowl and the 1989 Aloha Bowl. Brian's fondness for Michigan State was clearly evident to all his friends and all his former teammates. About a year before Brian became sick, one of the guys asked Brian why he wasn't on the ND Wall of Fame. Brian brushed it off. Remember, Brian never wanted any credit. He never wanted to boast about his accomplishments. Our friend told Brian he would nominate him. Brian replied, "Really? You would do that for me?" Brian was clearly excited about the prospect of being on the Wall of Fame. Unfortunately, again, Brian didn't want credit, and it took a little bit too long to realize that. But towards the end, a few of us visited Brian and his parents, and we told them about the great news. As always, Brian was quiet, humble, but I could see it in his face that he was really happy and proud. We'll certainly miss him, but I'm sure he's looking down and very happy to see all the faces of his friends here today. I want to thank Tony Zagoda, Dave Dizek, Tony Ronaldo for spearheading Brian's nomination. On behalf of the Allen and Carol Hill family, I want to thank the Notre Dame administration and Coach Hennessy for this great honor for Brian. I'd like to thank you for giving the future generations the opportunity to see Brian's plaque on the wall and admire him as much as I did. Thank you.
Our second honoree is Tommy Cirone from the class of 2004. Tommy was a triathlete here at Notre Dame, playing football, basketball, and volleyball during his days when he was here as a student. He's our all-time leading wide receiver in a single season. Played on 2 of the playoff teams in 02 and 03, and honored as an all-conference football player. He was a 4-year performer at Lake Forest College as a wide receiver and kickoff returner. Tommy was always noted for his quickness and his quick feet as a football player, and he works today as a firefighter and paramedic in Wilmette. Let's bring up Tommy Cirone.
Hello. So you guys will have to bear with me. This is kind of strange for me. I'm used to going to these things when it's for my sisters. So this is all new to me. Also, my friends know that I'm not that good of a storyteller or at giving speeches. So here it goes. When I found out that I was going to have to come up here and talk tonight, I spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to say. Ultimately, it was only fitting that I spent this time not talking about myself, but thanking all of the people that helped me to make me into the person I am today. I know what most of you are thinking right now. Cirone being modest? Is he okay? Is there something wrong? Yes, I am okay. But in all seriousness, tonight I am grateful. I am forever indebted to all the people that had a significant role in my life, and I'm going to try to show my gratitude tonight. First and most importantly, I have to thank my parents and family. I could probably count on my hands the number of games that they missed throughout my sister and I's many, many years of playing sports. And those other times when they couldn't be there, my aunts would be there to fill in for them. Say even a certain 7-on-7, where one of my aunts rode off on a motorcycle screaming, "Kick ass, Tommy." Something to this day I still hear on a regular basis. Thanks, Maureen. The time, money, dedication given to us could never be repaid. But I want you guys to know how thankful I really am. Mom, especially you. I would not be where I am in life today without you. You gave T and I every opportunity to succeed. Thank you, and I love you guys. T, I have to thank you for all those chants directed at me in basketball games. We all remember them. Your sister's better. But seriously, T, you were an inspiration to me. You showed me what hard work can do for someone, and no one is more proud of all your accomplishments than me. I can't wait to welcome little baby Garrett into the family. Let's just hope he gets our side of the family's athletic ability. Sorry, Garrett. Over the years, I've had so many different teachers and coaches that have made such an enormous impact in my life that it would take all night naming them off. You all know who you are. Most of you are here tonight. Thank you. Whether it was calling us names that started with the word cheese, and I won't repeat the other name, Coach Og, or slamming your clipboard off a locker while screaming at me, "This isn't the bleeping NBA, Tommy," or taking a 10 out of your wallet and asking one of the kids to run to Nick's for a gyro. All of them gave us so many great memories. Most importantly, though, you gave us the mentality and blueprint to succeed. that nothing comes easy and you have to work hard to earn everything in life. Every coach I ever had wanted to win just as much as we did, and our teams were never unprepared to win. Not only did that help us in sports, but I believe that it still helps us in life. Thank you for all taking the time out of your lives to make us better men. I know it wasn't easy at all. Next, I want to thank my friends and teammates. My junior and senior year of football were some of the best times of my life, and that was made possible because of the great friends and teammates that I had. It's hard to take any credit for this honor when none of it would have been possible without any of them. There always has to be a special bond between a receiver and a quarterback, and Corliss and I had that. He would tell you that the diva wide receiver reputation is a real thing, and I would tell you that I would have had a lot more receiving yards if he had not tucked the ball and ran all the time. If you could have heard our huddles. Cirone, will you throw a block downfield for once in your life? Corliss, seriously, stop running the ball and just throw it up to me. Cirone, you're 5'2". But in all seriousness, thank you to every single one of my friends. The memories and great times that we have shared have been nothing short of amazing. I am lucky to have all of you in my life. Finally, I end with this. I think most of you can tell that there is a glaring absence here tonight. This year, we lost a great one. Brian Murray passed away this year of cancer at the age of 33. If you ask anyone that knew Murray in this room, not a single one of them would have had a bad word to say about him. A great teammate, fantastic friend, and one of the best guys around. Murray was a true Don. I think that it is only fitting that we dedicate this night to his memory, and we end with these words: live a good life and be kind to others. Once again, thank you for this honor. I'm truly humbled.
Our third honoree is from the class of 2008, Bo Cisek. A two-year starter linebacker and selected as an all-conference player for 2 years. A 3-year wrestling all-conference member. 4-year member of the Northwestern Wildcats football team. As you can see in the book, Bo was selected to wear the prestigious #1 jersey by Coach Pat Fitzgerald for his tremendous attitude and commitment to the team. He was a motivated leader when he was here, he was a motivated leader when he was at Northwestern, and he's a motivated leader where he works today. He works today for RT Specialty as an insurance broker. I want to bring up Bo Cisek. Bo.
Good evening. I'm not much of a standard talker. I'd like to start off by saying I would have loved to have shaken Brian's hand. He seemed like a great dude, and his absence is definitely felt here. I have to thank my family, first of all. My father, if you had any time here, I'm sure you saw him. If you could please stand up, Senior. I'm sure you've seen this guy run around yelling at me, if you've been around. You know, he wasn't the only person. My other family's here too, but special shout out to him. Coaches, in football, obviously we had a lot of people around us, but I do have to say thank you to Coach Hennessy for everything that he does. It's insane how much he does. Coach DeFranza, he and I had a very, very special relationship while I was here, and that guy, I think he cares, and I think he cares the most out of anybody, honestly. It's insane. Wrestling, Coach Og and Coach Cartwright were absolute beasts. They believed in me just as much as anybody, and this is a bit of a negative, and I know that we're supposed to be celebrating here, but I missed qualifying for state 2 years in a row. by one match, and that's gonna haunt me. But you know what? We're here. It's fine. And then at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here without my teammates. Those dudes around me picked me up, you know, when we were all down, and I wouldn't be here without them and without our coaches and my family. So thank you all. Thank you so very much, and this is such an incredible honor to be here. Thank you.
Very fortunate to be honoring our ninth team, the 1989 varsity football team, state finals team. They battled to a 7-2 season record and earned a state playoff berth. That time everybody didn't get in. An outstanding defense and a hard-nosed ground-gaining offense typified their play. They had a tremendous playoff run by beating Fenton, Buffalo Grove, Carmel, and icing the state finals in the snow by beating Wheaton Central here at home. Talented and very tough team, the 1989 football team was also celebrating their 30th reunion. I think that may be a little bit later on, but we're getting the things going. It's going to be a year-long celebration. And they are our newest team to be inducted into the Athletic Wall of Fame. We have a good number of our guys that are here, and I'm going to ask the guys to do what we did with all of our Wall of Fame guys. If all the members well, first, what I want to do, sorry, backwards here. If I could ask the coaches from the team from 1989, if you would please come forward. Coach NBC, Coach Fitz, Coach Nicholas, you guys please come up.
Well, I wasn't prepared, but I'm going to say something. So my name is Coach Fitzpatrick. Coach Hennessy, when he started here in '87, hired me to coach football, and my dad goes, "Why are you coaching football?" I'm like, "I have no idea." So I'm going to give it a shot. So I'd like to say it's about Mike, probably the most genuine, most humble, selfless man I've ever met in my life. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be able to coach football. That '89 team was unbelievable. The defense we had was scary. I mean, they hit people and they just loved it. And as a defensive coordinator at the time, nothing made me more excited. So, gentlemen, I wanted to thank you, all of you, for what you did for me personally and what you've done for the school. And again, Mike, thank you for everything. It was a wonderful year. Thank you.
I wasn't ready for this either, but fortunately I know most of everybody in here. That's the one good thing, because I've been here since '77. So I knew Brian Hill real well, and I had an opportunity to coach these guys, all these guys up here at one time, and naturally Bo and Bo's dad. But it's been a ride. It's been 41 years here, and the kids just keep on getting better and better. The stories get better, the lies get longer, but it's been a blessing. I've been fortunate to be with Coach Hennessy since he came here, and we've got a pretty good friendship going here. We don't get along real well sometimes. We fight, but good friends always do. So I've been lucky enough to have great staffs. In fact, Naps and Pat and everybody right here, we coached those guys when they were sophomores. The guys that have come up there. Then we went up with them a couple years later. But not only that though, but good parents like Mr. Yano, Mr. Franza back there, all the moms and dads that are out there. I know I'll miss somebody, so I don't want to say anybody else's name. But a good place to go. I'm gonna throw a plug in for Dave's Place, Players Pub and Grill. All right. So I'm gonna end it on that.
Hey, did you give me free tickets for that yet? Give me free tickets? Listen, I'm just honored to be here, part of that team. The sophomore season was outstanding, and I think that's one thing that kind of started pushing us to the spot after Mike took over, which was, I'll be the guy. I was on that hiring committee, by the way. You're welcome. Okay. Right. And somebody asked me, Mike goes, hey, yeah, Mike was one of the guys that was on the hiring committee. And I go, yeah, because every time we would go to a park, he'd be there like for 4 hours already, okay? And then we go to another park, we'd be like, wait, honestly, we just saw him. He's here again, and so we were like, we need people in the building. That was part of the problem. Because when I was first here, Ryan was I think a junior, and I was his freshman coach, and we had 23 guys on the team. Okay, 23 guys. That was our freshman team. And we were getting pummeled by Jolly Catholic, and they didn't care. Okay. Anyways, this team was a great sophomore year, those guys, and then the thing I remember, me and Mad Dog were up in the booth in the game against Wheaton, Warrenville, and Obartik hit that freaking ball down. And the funny thing is, this could be a long story, and I could tell it later, but I love the fact that Thorne, who was the quarterback, waved the kicking team off. We're going to go for it on 4th down, Dad. Okay, that's what he did. And now my, full circle, my nephew coaches at North Central now, okay, football, for Thorne. I go, hey, bring up that day that they lost to Notre Dame, and he waved the kicking team. And he when my nephew told him that, he goes, don't ever bring that up again. And then the Grillo, he was booming balls, right? He didn't kick a field goal all freaking year, and then he wins 2 games for us. I don't even know. And then one came, sure, Anthony, it went right through, right? Thanks a lot.
That's Coach Michael Bowen, head baseball coach in New Trier, his 800 baseball win at Flyer.
I came out when Mike took over in '87. I knew him when I played at St. Tecla in grade school days. He recruited me back for Gordon back in those days. And then when I finished playing in college, when I went to school at Dakota Wesleyan, my dad called me and said, hey, Mike got the job at Notre Dame, look into coaching. I graduated college with all through my life, so I got involved in coaching. And Mike hired me, and of course the sophomore team. You guys are here, I can see you. I had more hair back then. I didn't know how to coach. I didn't know really, I just coached the way I was taught to play. I learned a lot from Mike, other guys here, Jack Cole, rest his soul, learned a lot from him. But watching these guys as sophomores coming in, and yes, I was animated, I was loud, I could be a little vulgar, but things made sense to me as the season went along. And my linemen, I have to say, as a year we got to know each other, and they played Denver football, and it was a lot of fun. And then to watch them grow as juniors to play a lot, and senior year to watch it all come together was really something to see. And it was just so it was a great run. I was at Mike for the first 12 years he was here, and it was a good time. My son just graduated 3 years ago on the 2015 team, and it was an honor for me to have him play for him. And it's been a good run ever since. So thank you very much. Thanks, Father.
Hello, I'm Tom Nicholas, class of '81, and I just want to say it's a privilege to be here tonight. I look around the room and I see all these faces of, the guys from '89, and man, we are pretty close in age and we're pretty old. So, but anyway, you guys, it's great to see everyone. I said it was a privilege because I just remember the day Coach Fitz and I, we played at John Carroll University. And I remember the day back in '87, he came by my office, I was working, he said, why don't we go? Coach Hennessy was just hired. Why don't we go coach football? I said, sure, let's go do it. We had fun. And I had the privilege of coaching with Coach Genovese, Coach Knaps, Coach Dwyer, Coach Fitz, Coach Hennessy, Coach Dwyer mentioned Coach Cole. Just a great bunch of guys. So you're going to be amazed, 30 years later, the impact that season had on so many people. The impact on my life, especially. So I just want to say I'm grateful to be here tonight, and it's great to see everyone tonight. So, I want to thank Coach Hennessy for giving me the opportunity. So, thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'd like to invite, I think there's just one sophomore, and the juniors from the football team, if you would come on up, please. 1989, the junior class, and Pat Gallagher, I think Pat's the only sophomore this year. If you guys want to come on up, please. I don't know if we'll have enough time for all these guys to say as much as the coaches, but I'd like them to introduce themselves, and we make sure we get a picture. Oh, come on up, Mike. Let's go.
Mike Urselli, class of '91. Just grateful to be here. It's definitely been a long time, but excited and definitely glad to see everybody here again because I know it's been a while. So thank you.
Jason Churak, class of '91, just a really big honor, and it's amazing to see that we still have our original coaches still here, still coaching. So it says a lot. It says a lot for how much they cared for us back then and how much they still care for the students coming in. So thank you.
Tony Grillo, class of '91. It was a great year, a lot of good times. And had a blast doing it all.
Jim Griffin, class of '91, and I'm grateful for the coaches and to be back here again. It's been a while, and to see all these guys, so thank you.
Tom Hirsch, 91. Echo everybody's sentiments. It's a great honor. Thank you to everybody. Great to see everybody. Bill Borkowski, class of '91. Thanks to all the coaches. Good to see everybody here. Just like to say about our team, I remember running scout team with a lot of these guys that were up here and getting our asses kicked by all the seniors that were a lot bigger than us. So I still got some marks on my back from some of you guys. Bartek's not here, but I still think I have a couple marks. But great to see everybody. Very proud to be a part of that team. Thanks.
John Zardik, class. I work with Coach Dwyer at the police department. He made me come here, so things haven't changed. So he's to Coach Hennessy and everyone for having us here. It's really a treat. Thanks.
Dave Gerdak, class of '91, pretty much echo everyone's sentiments. The seniors of this class, of this team, were really, really, really good. And they were good guys, and they took care of us when they, like Bill said, in scout practices. But thanks for the honor, really appreciate it. Thanks.
Harlan, class of '91, obviously. Just happy to be here and really honored to be a part of this team. Thanks, seniors.
Pat Gallagher, class of '92. I'm representing the sophomores that were brought up at the end of the year to join these guys, getting smashed week in and week out, preparing for the next team. But I will say, Coach Knaps made a lot of fun with the Scout Bowl. I think we had a Scout Bowl at the end of the year. It's a tremendous privilege to be along for the ride. Congrats, you guys are awesome.
Get in the middle and get a picture. You know who you are. Don't worry, just get it organized. And while we're doing that, if I could have the senior members of the 1989 football team come on up, please. We have some cleaner uppers, so you don't have to worry about the table. And again, when we're done here, we're going to be going down to the gym. I think the gentlemen come on up and say a couple brief words, and then we'll give somebody a flag.
Thanks, Coach Hensey. Anthony Cirone, class of 1990. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be out here with all these guys here. Honored to have the coaches all come back and say a couple of words. It's awesome to see all you guys. All the juniors and even Pat Gallagher and sophomore came up. It's awesome for you guys to be here. We're just honored to be here, and thank you very much.
Hi, it's Paul Wyman, the class of 1990, obviously. I think there's a common theme here tonight, and I think it all has to do with our coaching staff. And so I think I would wish that we could all come together and just give them a big round of applause. So thank you very much. You showed us the value of working hard, and if you want to accomplish goals, the work to get it. So we appreciate everything you've done for us. So thank you very much.
My name is Dan DeFranza. I haven't left here. I've been here ever since we graduated. So if you hear an exhausting sigh, that's the kids in the back of the room that are probably tired of hearing me talk. So they're probably hoping I just spend a short time up here. I know, and I will. One thing that I want to say about this team is it was a lot of fun to play on this team, and this was a team of really no stars except for one, maybe Paul Weinman, the guy who was just up here. He was an absolute beast. But I think everybody played their role very well. Sophomores that were brought up, juniors on the team, seniors on the team. It was just a team of really hard-working guys that did a lot of good, had a lot of fun off the field, but put in a ton of work. And I'd like to say that we probably were the guys, along with the group ahead of us, and some of them are here, that really got the Coach Hennessy era underway and put Notre Dame football back on the map where he's had it for the last 30 years. So I think the class of '89 and the guys above us, those guys sitting there, had a lot to do with that. And we're very proud to represent Coach Hennessy and Notre Dame.
Mike Cerno, class of 90. I just, they're saying everything that we're all thinking, but I want to thank the coaches. That whole year was such a whirlwind, and it went by. And it went so fast, but the memories kind of lasted, and you didn't really it didn't sink in until maybe a couple months after, but it was a great time.
I'm Mike Brannigan. I don't like to talk much, so just like to play with a bunch of good guys, so thanks.
Regis Lawrence, class of 1990, obviously. I mean, I don't even know where to even start or end on that season. It was incredible. And truly, we all are brothers, and that's why we all made it important to be here tonight. I'll make this as brief as I can, but the biggest memory I had of that season was the Wheaton Central Wheaton Warrenville game where we won 6-3. Thanks. And Coach Jack Cole. So Tony kicks the winning field goal. We're going to the state championship. It was crazy snow, 20 below with the wind chill. We're 3 deep around the fence as well as packing the stands. Coach Cole was the first one out on the field and tackles Tony. We all rushed the field as well. Everybody else ran out on the field too. We're going to state. Paul will remember, he was standing next to me when it happened. We're going to state, we're going to state, we're going to state. Paul and I both looked down on the ground, and there's Coach Cole on his back, eyes closed, not moving. What's going on? Coach Hennessy and everybody else comes over. Everybody in the locker room. Everybody in the locker room. We're in the locker room. We're going to the state championship. You can hear a pin drop. what is going on with Coach Cole? It seemed like forever, but it went by pretty quick. All of a sudden, you hear the cleats coming down the steps into the varsity locker room. Around the corner comes Coach Cole. His pullover's ripped, his bald hair's all messed up, he's got grass stains on his face. What are you guys crying about? We're going to state! The room just goes nuts. I mean, it was incredible. You couldn't have written a movie script better than that season. It was awesome, and I'm very proud to say that we all shared it together. And I don't know that there'll be another one like it. It was so awesome. Coach Hennessy, thank you very much.
I'm Pat Brannigan, class of 90 years as well. I just want to echo the same thing all these guys. I want to thank the coaches, the guys in front of us that taught us stuff, what to do, how to play tough and stuff like that. But besides that, thanks for my teammates. It was a good time. On and off the field.
Troy Fleming, class of 90. I'd just like to say thank you to all our parents. I know most of us came from middle-class families, and our parents had to sacrifice a lot for us to go to this school. My father had to work 3 side jobs to send us here. My mom worked here at the school to help with tuition. We would have never got to enjoy any of this without the sacrifices our families made, so thank you to all the parents who are here and not here, and thank you, Coach Willett, for making us all love football.
Bart Murphy, obviously coaching class of 1990. What I'm really most impressed when I look around this room, not for our class, but for all the classes that are here, is how successful Notre Dame has really made everyone become. If you look at what we've done off the field compared to what we've done on the field, it's so much more impressive to me. Not only as what we've done in our careers, but if you look around the room and all the people that have played here, that have given back to football and given back to all their sports they've played in. I've coached grammar school for 10 years, so many people in this room have coached for so long, and back more than they've gotten. That's what really makes me proud to be up here and to be part of this tonight. Thank you very much.
Bobby Walker, class of 1990. Obviously, like everyone else says, there's so many good coaches. Not even enough to say about those guys who give up sacrifices, their family, the women that put up with them. We love you, all your mothers and coaches' mothers. And Coach Hennessy, there's never going to be a guy like him in any sport. I don't care what coaching. I play for other coaches too, and no one's got the heart. No one's got the heart day in and day out to put it back into us, and so we can be among these other leaders, Dave Dietrich and Paul Miners, everyone else in here. I mentioned many names. Hurdles there. Everybody broke the microphone. Mike, that was just so many great athletes. I mean, it's just a great program. It's always going to be. We're all going to stick together to keep this tradition, Notre Dame. Go ND.
Jim Hurley, obviously I'm not going to repeat my class since everybody else here is. I think it's kind of common sense for 90. Make this real brief. Thanks Coach Hennessy, Notre Dame, all the coaches, the juniors, like whoever said before that, the class above us, teaching us how to play football. It was a great season, something I'll never forget. Just thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. There's not much to add. A lot of the guys have echoed the sentiments I was thinking as I was standing here in line. One of my fondest memories, I have to say, of this team was the fact that, as was mentioned before, there were really no all-stars. I think Weinman got his name in the paper a lot on defense for tackles, and you heard Mishka. You've seen Mishka's name written up because he was our quarterback. But really, we were a blue-collar team. We didn't really have any of those marquee players that a lot of the teams that we played did. And I remember at the time being extremely proud of that, and the fact that we had risen Notre Dame to a higher level in terms of playoff football. It was super exciting back then. It's exciting to think about even now, reminiscing 30 years later. One of the privileges that myself and Mark Yannel and Paul Mishka, who's not here tonight, is we had the pleasure, the three of us went down to St. Francis to continue our football careers for 4 years later. we had the pleasure of playing against a lot of guys that came out of the Catholic League, and specifically Mount Carmel, so we took a good share of ribbing over the next 4 years for the end of that season, but don't like to dwell on that. That was also all in good fun, great memories, and with that, I'll hand it over to Mr. Nyhan.
Mike Nyhan, class of 1990. Just honored to be a part of this. Really just want to thank all the coaches. It's really cool to see all the coaches again. And especially thanks to Coach Hennessy for putting it all together. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Mark Yano, class of 90. Congratulations to all the other inductees tonight. It's a great honor to be elected in the Wall of Fame. Good to see Dave and Stan. Dave, DJ Stan Valley, two guys I looked up to in high school. And let's not forget the guys, a lot of guys who aren't here today, Johnny Patua, so Bartuk, Chris Strobel, rest in peace. I'm sure I'm missing some other guys who weren't able to be with us, who are part of this team as well. What a great honor. I've been through a lot of these, had a lot of awards, but there's nothing bigger than a team award. This is a huge deal, being able to be up here with these gentlemen 30 years later. And what a great run we had. I don't remember a lot of things. I do remember a lot about that season, though. And it was a great run and something you'll never forget. And guys, you've got on this wall forever, no matter what you do. No matter what you do for a living, whatever, you're on that wall for the rest of your life, and nobody can take that away from you. Congrats to one of the greatest guys ever, Coach Hennessy, the guy who brought us all together. I remember, I think Naps told me way back after, Hennessy said, let's keep these guys together after freshman year. Don't bring them up to the sophomores or the varsity. Let's keep them together as a team. And he's still here. Let's give him a round of applause. Semi-finals this year too. Came up a little short. I know he's going to be back. It's an honor to be here. A pleasure to be up there with these gentlemen. Great guys. And congratulations, gentlemen. And all the coaches. Being a coach now, I know what you guys went through. Naps and Coach Dwyer, Coach Cole, God rest his soul, Hog, Coach Hennessy, Coach Nichols, Coach Fitz. Playing 33 way back in '89 against Carmel, huh? I got you now, man. But congratulations to you guys, awesome. And Coach Hennessy, thank you from the bottom of our heart.